All right, guys. So Charlamagne went on Bill Maher's show, and they're doing a little overtime segment here. And this is going to be—it's such a classic Bill Maher moment because it's like he can't help but reiterate his insane wrongness on the issue of Israel and Gaza. But beyond that, he also does the classic thing he's accused of being, which is Mr. Get Off My Lawn, Mr. I'm a crotchety, grumpy old man. And he shows that, and I think Charlamagne does a pretty good job here sort of disarming that and battling back against it in a pretty low-key way. Let's watch.
Does Hillary Clinton endorsing Jamal Bowman's challenger signal that mainstream Democrats are tiring of the squad? Okay, this is very inside baseball for those who don't
It's very inside New York.
Follow politics. Jamal Bowman is a member of the squad. He is a Democratic congressman from New York, very far left. He's being challenged and kind of anti-Israel. He is being challenged in the primary by a more centrist Democrat who Hillary Clinton has endorsed.
No, he's not a centrist Democrat. His name is George Latimer. This is, by the way, the district that I grew up in. His name is George Latimer. He's basically a Republican who is running as a Democrat. Did you know he was in power and he was responsible for slow-rolling desegregation? Did you know that? Did you know that he's taken a colossal amount of money from Trump donors? So this is not, it's a centrist. No, this is a right-wing, basically a Republican who's running as a Democrat because only Democrats win in this district. Okay, so he doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
Very far left. He's being challenged and kind of anti-Israel. He is being challenged in the primary by a more centrist Democrat who Hillary Clinton has endorsed. That's the background of this.
There's a split in the party. It's been going on,
right.
Since Bernie Sanders ran.
There's not a split in the party. That is not true. All the polls are on the pro-Palestine side. All the polls. Sure, when you ask the poll question, do you support Israel or Hamas? Of course, a majority say Israel, because that's a ridiculous, false dichotomy. So that's a loaded question, the most loaded of loaded questions I've ever seen. When you ask people, hey, do you want a ceasefire? The numbers are colossal. Everybody wants a ceasefire. Everybody wants a ceasefire. When you say, hey, should there be a two-state solution? Everybody says they want a Palestinian state. So to say there's a split in the party, no. Basically, 80% of elected Democrats are totally Zionist, totally sold out to Israel, take a shitload of money from AIPAC. But the voters are the opposite. And he calls that a split. No, that's one group, the leaders. Most of them are corrupt. And everybody else is demanding they do the opposite policy, which they refuse to do.
There's a split in the party. It's been going on,
right.
Since Bernie Sanders ran. But on October 7th, it became very clear. And it's generational, and it's ideological, and it's philosophical, and I don't know where it's going to wind up.
Well, it's going to be fun at the convention.
I know Jamal. I wouldn't say Jamal. I don't think he's anti-Israel. He's anti, the war that Israel is waging on Gaza, or what they call a genocide, right? So
it's not a genocide. That's ridiculous.
I'm not. That's their language.
Bill Maher literally can't help himself. This guy can't help himself. Jesus Christ.
So it's not a genocide. That's ridiculous.
I'm not. That's their language. That's
their language, and it's erroneous.
The smug, dumbest, most arrogant motherfucker on the planet. Bill, what would it take? What would it take? We already have 38 different genocidal comments. Do you need 39? And I'm talking about from Israeli politicians and IDF military leaders. How many do you need? How many genocidal comments? So the intent is there because they say the intent is there. We already know it's now over, 43,000 dead Palestinians. About 40,000 of them are innocent civilians. Over 16,000 dead kids. Over 10,000 dead women. Over 90% innocent civilian death rate. They're starving the population. People have literally died from being hungry. They're not allowing in anesthesia. Kids are having limbs amputated with no anesthesia. They're running out of medicine. They're doing a total siege. What more would you need, Bill Maher, for you to say, you know what, this is a genocide? And the real answer to that question is there's literally nothing that could happen, which would make him go, you know what, that's, too far. Even if they were to nuke Gaza, I promise you he would not change his position, even the tiniest bit.
We're all against war.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not against war. Bullshit.
At some point, you have to make reasonable, practical decisions. If you think Hamas should be wiped out, and they did attack Israel, and they're avowed to wipe out Israel, they're the ones who actually are saying we would commit a genocide.
And we do not want a ceasefire.
And we do not want a ceasefire, and we do not want to...
That's all literally every part of that is wrong. Israel is in the middle of doing the genocide against Palestinians. And what about that charter from 1988 of Hamas, where they were saying genocidal things in it? Okay, yeah, I condemn that language. They've also tried the opposite. They also said, hey, two-state solution, 1967 borders. But who's actually carrying out genocide right now? Oh my God, I'm going to lose my damn mind. I'm going to lose my mind. We're all against war, except sometimes you need to make practical decisions like doing war. So then stop waging a war on the English language. You're saying we're all anti-war, then you go on to describe how pro-war you are. You can't do that. That's not a thing. Oh my God, I hate these people so much. I hate these people. Look, it's one thing if you're being honest and upfront with what you believe and we can have an honest conversation. He's not being honest. He's not being upfront. He's playing hide the ball. I'm anti-war, and by that I mean I'm in favor of everything Israel is doing, killing 92% innocent civilians and carpet bombing babies and destroying all of North Gaza and making 2 million people homeless. Shut the fuck up, Bill Maher.
If you think Hamas should be wiped out, and they did attack Israel, and they're avowed to wipe out Israel.
By the way, he says that as if it's possible. Yeah, we're going to wipe out Hamas. Really? You just created quadruple the number in a single day because you killed too many innocent civilians. What does that mean? What does that mean? At some point, is Hamas going to come out waving a white flag? All of us are gone now, permanently. There will be no more Palestinian hardline militancy. All you're doing is breeding more Palestinian hardline militancy. God, oh my God, I can't take it.
Ones who actually are saying we would commit a genocide.
And we do not want a ceasefire.
And we do not want a ceasefire.
Israel's the one that's saying we don't want a ceasefire. Hamas literally accepted the ceasefire. The Biden came out and laid out the parameters and said, this is Israel's plan, and this is what we're going to do. Hamas goes, bet, let's do it. Israel comes out and goes, no, our aims have not changed, and we need to totally eradicate Hamas. Then you're not engaged in a good faith negotiation and process to get to a ceasefire and to get to an end game. You're just not. You can't say, yeah, we agree, but also we need to eradicate them. Yeah, I'll make a deal with you, but then right after that, I get to eradicate you. That's not a thing. Oh my God. They have it all backwards. They literally have it all backwards. I can't. And guys, I'm going to ask you, what is it? What is it? Is it the brainwashing of the media that makes these idiots be idiots? Or is it their own idiocy that makes them be idiot? What is it? How have you gotten this lost? Anybody who follows the details and the specifics knows that every single point that they're making here is totally incorrect, but they say it so confidently. They say it like they're obviously right. Oh my God.
If you think they have to be wiped out, then Israel is going to have to conduct this war.
Do you think Netanyahu wants a ceasefire?
No.
No.
Of course
That's a
not. He
problem.
wants to finish
That's a
the war.
problem too.
So does everybody in Israel.
Right.
They all, even when Netanyahu's days are numbered, but even when he goes, I know lots of people have been to Israel, the policy will continue.
Yeah.
They do. It's like they have to finish this war.
He's right that whoever replaces Netanyahu is going to be just like Netanyahu, but he's wrong that this has to continue. No, it has to stop, Bill. But he has so fully dehumanized Palestinians that he looks at that suffering and doesn't bat an eyelash.
This war going, he doesn't have to answer the question of how the hell did this happen in the first place?
Well,
how was it possible that Hamas was training hundreds of feet from the border of Israel with the Mossad and the intelligence capabilities? And as long as he keeps this war going, he doesn't have to answer the question.
Well,
But to answer your question, I do think Hillary is supporting the other candidate because the candidate is pro-Israel and Jamal is labeled anti-Israel. To answer the question.
right. Okay.
But we have to
Definitely.
figure out a way to talk about this issue where we are not telling young people that they're dumb. Because when we were young and people told us that, it didn't work. So I don't know how to do it.
No, you literally do the thing that she says not to do. You literally do the exact thing that she says, we can't do this. Your whole shtick is that you're stupid. You're dumb, okay? The kids these days, man. What happened to the kids?
I don't know how to explain.
I do.
How?
I don't tell them they're dumb. They're not dumb. They're ignorant.
No, you say they're dumb. You say they're stupid all the fucking time. Oh my God. Oh my God. And now he changes it slightly to try to soften it just a touch. And to be fair, the distinction he's making I actually think is a real one. Ignorance is different from stupidity, and, ignorance can be remedied and stupidity maybe can't. But the idea that he's never called, young people stupid, young people, of course he does it all the fucking time. This Bill Maher we're talking about.
There's a difference. There's a difference. To call someone stupid, yes, that's wrong. Stupid, you can't help.
It's not always wrong. It's wrong if the person is not stupid. if they are stupid, it's perfectly reasonable. Like you, for example, Bill Maher, are fucking stupid.
Ignorant just means you don't know something. We are all ignorant of almost everything. There's practically infinite things in this world you could know about. I don't know about 99.9999% of them.
But calling them ignorant would be a terrible electoral strategy.
It's electoral, yes.
Electoral, yeah, you know what I meant.
Electorally, that would be a terrible strategy. But it is the truth. They are ignorant.
Is a bad electoral strategy right now.
And
There's
also
nowhere in the world where the far left is winning. The far right's winning. Centrists are winning.
Wait, that's not true. That's not true. Didn't we just get in the UK? Wasn't there a big surge of the left? And then also in France, Macron's party in the recent polls is getting absolutely obliterated. Macron's like the centrist neoliberal party. And then the far right is doing great, like Le Pen and all those types. But also the left is nipping at their heels, bro. So this idea that nowhere the left is winning, that's not true. That's not true. And then also, of course, these guys disregard lessons of history, like with FDR, how FDR won the presidency 4 times, and he had 80% of the House and 80% of the Senate, and sometimes if you do social democracy and deliver for the people, they'll deliver for you. They, like, wipe all that out of their mind, and they think, well, Reagan or Bill Clinton always got to go right to win. Okay, well, how's Biden doing in the polls, and how's Macron doing in the polls right now? Not that good, but wait, I don't even think we got to one of the juiciest parts.
Electorally, that would be a terrible strategy. But it is the truth. They are ignorant.
Is a bad electoral strategy right now.
And
There's
also,
nowhere in the world where the far left is winning. The far right's winning, centrists are winning, but the far left isn't winning anyway.
The ignorance is not their fault because they let them out of school that way. The ignorance is the part of the people, the adults and the educators who don't do their job anymore. And they let you out of school. They will sign that diploma and you don't know a fucking thing. Really. Certainly not about this issue.
You hear what he said? They don't know a fucking thing. Quote, certainly not about this issue. Talking about Israel and Gaza. That is fucking rich. That is fucking rich. Go talk to your average Zionist, and they have the same, like, 7 talking points they go back to that could be written on a fucking fortune cookie, right? Like, it's the most watered-down, bullshit, fake version of history you've ever seen. Go talk to somebody who's well-researched on the issue, and they're pro-Palestine, and they, oh my God, the knowledge is endless. Go listen to... what's his name? Daryl Cooper, Martyr Made. He did the Martyr Made podcast about this particular issue. He's actually a conservative guy, but he's super well researched on this, and the knowledge is endless about this. Bill Maher doesn't know shit about this issue, even though he pretends to know about this issue. Bill Maher has motivated reasoning. He picked a side, and he worked backwards from his conclusion. And why did he pick the side of Israel? He picked the side because we've all heard his commentary on Muslims. You know, he thinks they're barbaric, they're primitive, their ideology is so backwards. You know, he agrees with Netanyahu, and Netanyahu says it's the forces of light versus the forces of darkness, right? It's the forces of enlightenment, liberal values versus the forces of regressive barbarism and extreme conservatism. That's how he views it. That's how he views it. And he's lecturing young kids like, you don't know anything about this issue. They sure as fuck know more than you, bro. They definitely know more than you. Oh my God, I think that's it. Let's see.
This is an issue that is incredibly complicated.
Right.
The facts, like knowing all the historical facts, that is complicated because there's so many of them. But the basic moral lines here, that's not complicated at all. Not even close.
To Anna's point, though, they should find a way to talk about it because dismissing all of those young folks is not going to help them in November.
That is true.
And when you look at what's going on in Michigan,
He says that's true, like he doesn't dismiss them all the time.
have a bunch of voters voting non-committed, I don't know how they're going to flip that switch come November to say, hey, go out
They
and
better
vote.
flip
gotta
it
say-
because let me tell you something. The last thing you want is Donald Trump
That's right.
doing foreign policy with Netanyahu. They're going to turn Gaza into a
That's right.
into a parking lot.
That's right. It's not going to be any better. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know.
But it's got to also work both ways. Like, the young people have to listen to people who are older than them and not just say, I don't agree with you, you're old.
I'm pretty sure that's not the reason why people are dismissing you, Bill Maher. It's not simply because you're old. No, it's because you're wrong on a lot of shit, and you're also the world's smuggest, most arrogant prick.
You know what? First of all,
Well, they are saying that because they don't want them protesting on the lawn of the college campus. So they are saying, get off my lawn. I mean,
Oh, that's a burn right there. That's a burn. Oh, that's a good point. The old people are not saying get off my lawn. And he's like, actually, they literally did when they went to go protest for Palestine on college campus lawns. They literally said, you have to get off our lawn. Oh, my God.
But I'm always saying to them is, don't say that to me. Don't say you're old or you're just saying get off my lawn. Engage with the idea.
Literally every time we've done a Bill Maher segment, we engage with the idea. And he will never, forget me, he will never talk to anybody that's even on the same wavelength as me. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. By the way, you question him, you push him, you check him on something on his show, you're done. He doesn't want to let anybody on that makes him look bad, right? Crystal ran circles around him the last time she was on, and he didn't like it very much now, did he? So what nonsense. You have to engage with the idea. When people engage with the idea, you get smug, you get dismissive, and you shut them down, and you pretend like your ass didn't just get checked when it did.
Engage with the idea. And by the way, you could never get near my lawn. All right, thank you.
Yeah, engage with the idea. You know, Bill Maher's idea is, genocide is okay. Genocide is good. Engage with that idea. Some ideas are worthy of scorn and derision, by the way. And he understands that in some context, but when it's criticizing him, he doesn't understand it at all. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.